This Sunday, we will see Los Colchoneros welcome their neighbors, Los Blancos, at the Wanda Metropolitano in a match that just could, determine which side of Madrid the La Liga title heads to. What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. This is Tifosi Culture TV and I'm your host Hotshot, and today we are going to be previewing the Madrid Derby or El Derbi Madrileño for the cultured people like my viewers. Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid, El Cholo Simeone versus Zinedine Zidane in a huge clash at the top of the table. So for this derby, I have asked two very special guests to come onto the show. They are two diehard fans of their respective clubs. Soumyanil from Peña Atlética De India, the official Atletico Madrid fan group of India, as well as Nithanth from Peña Madridista De Bombay, who is also a contributor for the Madrid Zone and the Real Champs. I leave their links in the description below. You guys have to check them out. I highly recommend you guys do so. So you can bet really good money that this preview is going to be top quality. So before we get into today's video, you know what to do. Do smash a like, comment down below your scores, your predictions for this huge clash. And if you're new around here and if you like what we do here, which is match previews such as this, as well as a host of completely cool new content such as match previews, reviews, tactical analysis, team analysis, and all that good stuff, you know what to do. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you never miss another upload such as this. So without any further ado, guys, let's get into the video. And joining me, representing the home team, the president of Peña Atlética De India, Soumyanil. Soumyanil, bro, how are you? Thank you so much for coming on to the show. It's a real pleasure.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah. We do a thing where we ask every new guest who's their favorite all-time player from their club. So who's your favorite all-time Atletico Madrid player and why?
It has to be Fernando Torres.
Okay.
But if I say my favorite all-time player ever who got me into watching football, it's David Villa. But in Atletico de Madrid, it's Fernando Torres.
Awesome. Representing the away team, he is one of arguably the best fan columnists I've ever read, and especially for Real Madrid. So it's a real honor to have him on the show. Please give a warm welcome to my guest, Nithanth, a contributor for the Real Champs as well as the Madrid Zone. So welcome, Nithanth. It's a real pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot for inviting me. It's great to be part of this show. I've seen your videos and I really like the way you conduct when you host podcasts.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. We ask this question to every new guest on the show. So who's your favorite Real Madrid player?
Right now, currently, it's Toni Kroos. The way he plays, all time, it's Iker Casillas and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, I think every Madridista is a Ronaldo fan. Am I right?
Yeah. I think you would be hard pressed to find any fan from this generation who wouldn't say Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah. How confident are you entering this derby, bro?
We are not that really confident because we are going through a little bit of slump. In last 5 matches, we have dropped about 5 or 7 points. That's a bit concerning. And regarding Real Madrid, it's a derby, and anything can happen in a derby. It doesn't matter what form you are going into the match. It doesn't matter how good you play. Derbies are always decided by a little bit of a luck factor, and you can't do a whole lot of match. You just play your own game and hope that everything goes all right.
Yeah. So talk to me about the importance of this derby, bro, because you are in the title race. I mean, after a long time, Atletico Madrid are top of the table. Real Madrid are hot on your heels. They're chasing you from third. How important is it to win this match? Because not only you will get to you will cement your place at the top of the table, but you will also nullify your rival who's also in the title race.
Yeah. Simeone has a bad habit of going into some big matches with a bit of conservative approach, but I think this time we shouldn't do that, and we should absolutely go for the kill and end any hopes of Real Madrid getting a sniff of the La Liga title, and as well as Barcelona too.
Yeah,
it's a very important match, and we should not think about going into the match defensively and thinking about a draw and later making it up. We shouldn't think about that, and we should instantly go for the win.
Yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on this importance of such a historic rivalry. It is a rivalry steeped in politics. It is a rivalry steeped in history. Two like clashing clubs in terms of culture, tradition, and all that stuff. And it has also a significance in modern day history, which is something that other derbies tend to lack. They lack that kind of bite, especially there is no derby that has such a bite like the Madrid derby. So talk us through the importance of the Madrid derby.
Well, first of all, when you face your local derby rival in two Champions League final and a Copa del Rey final and other Super Cup finals, it's bound to get the rivalry heated up. And then it's, of course, the history is always there. Atleti have always been the what can you say, the poor man's club in Madrid. That's what they always say. And Real Madrid has always been the glamorous brother in the city. So that's always that always adds that heat to the derby matches. The underdog versus the rich stars, the Galacticos. So and this one, the one we are the game on Sunday, that's very important in the title race. We are just 5 points off Atleti. Atleti have one game in the hand. So hopefully we winning that means we close the gap down to 2 points. So that's a big clash in the title race.
So what has been the most memorable Madrid derby for you, bro?
Certainly, it's in the Copa del Rey final 2013. Okay. It had been 14 long years we haven't beaten Real Madrid, and we had got the chance of facing them at Santiago Bernabeu in the Copa del Rey final. We had literally zero to no hopes.
Yeah.
But we came out alive, and we won the match with Miranda's header in the 96th minute of the derby.
Yeah, that was a very memorable derby win for you guys.
Yeah. Also, there's a derby in 2015 where we smashed 4 goals against Real Madrid. And this was played at Vicente Calderon. Yes.
Yeah. I remember that. That was also a very good match. Now, currently, you guys are faltering a little bit. You guys are currently third. But now, for the past, I think, 4 or 5 games, you've been having a really good win streak. But only to draw to Sevilla, Real Sociedad, pardon. So, what has gone wrong for Real Madrid this season? Last season, you were late starters, but then eventually you went on to win the title. But now it seems that you guys are faltering a lot.
Well, first of all, this season has been weird. Like a lot of the teams don't have preseason. I think it's been hard to get into that rhythm for all the teams. And when you especially look at Real Madrid, we have had 42 injuries this season. That's just mind blowing for any team. That's very hard to cope up for any team. And then there's the fact that Zidane hasn't really trusted his squad. I think there was a game in December versus Sevilla. Since that game, his playing 11 has been the same. The Kroos, Modric, Casemiro midfield trio has been constant. And the fact that he hasn't trusted players like Martin Odegaard or Luka Jovic, that hasn't helped Real Madrid at all. Because when you are getting decimated by injuries this way, you need to give the others opportunity. Yeah, so that they can at least step in when your regular starter isn't available. I think those two factors are the reason that we haven't really gotten into rhythm, and that we haven't really made it count. Like there are a lot of spots in between where we get into a good form, we defeat everyone, but then suddenly we drop points versus the small teams. That's another factor. We have dropped a lot of points versus the small teams. We have failed to break down tight defenses, compact defenses, teams that don't allow us space in their boxes.
So you've been having a very, very good season. You've been having an excellent season. What has changed? Because compared to last season, you've improved massively. So what has Simeone done to make you guys title contenders?
I think first of all, some players left our club, like some important players like Thomas Partey and Alvaro Morata, and this brought about a change in our playing system. We used to play in 4-4-2, as we all know, and now Simeone has shifted to 3-5-2. And not only player departures, but some incoming players like Luis Suarez has played a part, because he can't no longer chase balls like Alvaro Morata and play in a counter-attacking system. We need to play a bit more of a possessive and positional system for him. And also the role of Marcos Llorente and Trippier also helped a bit, and Carrasco also playing the best football of his life right now. And Mario Hermoso, the central defender that he brought last year, has cemented his place in the team. That has also played a role.
Like you said, Luis Suarez has been a big revelation for you guys. Llorente shifting from a defensive midfielder to almost a second striker, and Hermoso bought from Espanyol. He's been a really good player, and also João Felix has really improved a lot this season.
He really improved from last season. Although he got a bit stung back recently because of due to COVID and injuries, but he's again back, and hoping to see him give his best.
It's been a very tough season for you guys, but like I mentioned earlier, whenever people seem to count Real Madrid out, especially in a derby, in a Madrid derby, you guys always seem to deliver, and you guys always seem to beat your neighbors. So what is it that makes Real Madrid such a formidable foe for Atletico? Because when it's Real Madrid and Atletico, at least for me, I know the game is already done. I know there's only going to be one winner, but there is also an off chance that Atletico Madrid or something or the other can happen. But for me, it's always like no matter what happens, no matter how bad Real Madrid get, they will always beat their neighbors. So what is that? Is it a sort of mentality thing? Is it a sort of like, we are going to beat you no matter what? Like, you can do whatever you want, but we're still going to beat you?
I think it's a combination of two things. First of all, like, I feel Atleti have this block that they feel that they cannot beat Real Madrid. I don't know why they feel this way, because they are more than capable of doing it. Then the second thing is that Real Madrid, that team, that core, that the one we call the old guard, they are always ready to show up in the big games. No matter what the situation is, no matter what corner they are forced into, they'll always be ready to face the big games. Like I said, again, in December, we were in a very bad situation. We lost to Valencia, Inter Milan, drew to Villarreal, and I think we lost to Shakhtar too, 2-0. And after that, we had a crucial run of games, and we fought back. We won against Sevilla, we won against Barcelona, we won against Atleti, and we won against, I think it was Inter Milan again. Yeah, the last game was versus Mönchengladbach, and we beat them. So, like, no matter what the corner, what the situation is, if it's a big game, you can more than bet that Real Madrid will turn up. And add that to the fact that Atleti feel like they have a block, I guess, that they just cannot perform at the very best level. So that seems to be the case with why it's been that Real Madrid have been beating Atleti.
What do you think? Because whenever I see Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid, I always think that no matter the form, Real Madrid will always have a chance to win that game. So what do you think? Like, is there a sort of like a mental block that Atletico cannot win? They can have to overcome that in order to beat Real Madrid.
Now, first of all, we have to give credit to them as well, and also Zidane's man management skills. It's been really good for them, and it has served their club really well. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's a bit of a fault on Simeone's side too. Sometimes we go into these derby matches with an overprotective approach, a very conservative one. That has also harmed us a bit.
You mentioned the old guard, am I right? Like Sergio Ramos, Karim Benzema, Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, but now currently Sergio Ramos is injured, sidelined. I don't know if Benzema might be fit for the derby. I'm not sure, or something like that. But Eden Hazard is also out, injured. You guys have been really, really hit by the injury crisis. So will that affect you guys anyway in this? Because there's nobody leading you on the pitch, and I think we've seen in the Champions League final, like sorry, in the Champions League game against Manchester City, that without Ramos, the defense seems to lose their head. Like at key moments, they lose their composure. Varane and Milicia. So will that play a huge factor in this game right now, where when mentality is so important?
I think so because the good thing is that Varane and right now it's Nacho who's partnering Varane. Militia has been injured too. So those two have been playing a lot of games. Like I think for the past month or so, they have been playing together and they have been exceptional together. So I am hoping that they don't choke up in a big game. But Varane, I think Varane has finally redeemed himself for those
Yeah.
mistakes he made in the City game, because he stepped up even in the absence of Sergio Ramos. Because like it's typical of fans to say that he can't perform without Ramos, and they had every right to say that. But
Yeah.
right now he's performing without Ramos, and I think even without Ramos, the defense will be strong. I'm more worried about playing without Benzema because he's a striker. He's the only goal scoring player
Yeah.
right now we have. Like the second top goal scorer is Casemiro, a defensive midfielder. So
Yeah.
that tells you what the state of the attack. And our second striker Mariano is also injured. So
Yeah.
we are short on the striker
I
position.
mean,
Hopefully he can play Benzema.
hopefully, like if only you had a striker who was highly touted in this in the Bundesliga at Frankfurt, you could have used him. But that's a topic for another day.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, like to hammer home your point, I mean, before I think the games leading up to the Madrid derby, the first leg, Ramos was injured, am I right? And you guys lost 4-1 to Valencia, 1-1 to you drew 1-1 to Villarreal, and you lost to Deportivo, and then immediately when Ramos was fit for the Madrid derby, you guys won 2-0. So that shows his
yeah.
importance in this really crucial game. So coming to that sudden downturn in form. At the start of the new year, you were on fire. You were actually going for the league. I think, you were very, very far ahead from the pack in the league.
Yeah,
Other
we are
teams were
about 13
chasing.
points ahead.
Yeah. Now suddenly the gap is reduced massively. You've, like you mentioned, you've drawn 2 games and you've lost one against Levante. Your first loss since Real Madrid. What happened? What is the reason for this poor run of form? Is it too much
Yeah,
games, lack of rotation, like that?
um, uh, the players look a little bit sluggish, I have to say. But the main factors for this downfall has been the ban of Trippier. He has
Yeah.
been banned until February 28th because of those betting situation. We're
Mhm.
not going further into that. That ban has left a hole in the right wing back position in our team, and sometimes Vasalko is slotting in there. Sometimes Marcos Llorente is slotting in there, uh, and that way the main impact of Marcos Llorente has been going out. But
Mm.
his main area of fear is the opponent's penalty area, and while playing right wing back, he's not approaching that area, and also not linking up with the Joao Felix or Thomas Lemar or Luis Suarez. That has been the most important critical point, and also the injuries of Yannick Carrasco and many other COVID infected players like Herrera and Lemar has also played a part, and Jimenez has also been injured. Now for the derby, we have recovered almost every player except for the Jimenez one.
Now almost all your players are recovered, but on the other side, Real Madrid, all their players are injured. There have been a lot of injuries for them. So you guys have to be the favorite team, am I right?
Yeah, you can say that, but in derby, as I already said, there are no favorites. There are
Yeah,
no such thing. Only the luck factor comes into play.
yeah,
You can play a hell of a game and still come out as loser.
exactly.
As we have already been in the UCL finals.
This is a derby that needs its fans. Will the lack of any crowd be a huge factor in this game? Because it's almost like there's no home advantage right now, right? Atletico Madrid really need that. So what do you think about that?
Uh, First of all, Atletico had been really good. Crowd or no crowd doesn't matter. Atletico had been really good at home. If we count even last season where we were really poor, but we only lost one match
Hmm.
at home.
Yeah,
And this and midway through the last season when the resumption of the corona infected season began,
yeah,
we haven't dropped any points. And we only dropped this year. We only dropped about 4 or 5 points, right?
Hmm.
Including those drop points included 2 draws and 1 loss.
Yeah.
So
Two draws.
we have been really good at home, and yes, obviously missing the crowds is a big factor because we have the best support in Spain. No doubt,
Yeah,
the Frente Atletico always lit up the atmosphere for big games.
yeah. Because your first loss came in a 2-0 defeat at home to Levante. So we spoke about the injury crisis. How will Zidane cope with this? Like, how will he approach this game? What kind of tactics is he going to use to beat your rivals?
I think the key player tomorrow on Sunday is going to be Isco. He
Okay.
started versus Atlanta. I don't think he started in the last game. He started and he's been good. Like
Okay.
he's finally
The
starting to
last.
show the
Okay.
player he is.
Yeah.
They played in a diamond,
Yeah.
the formation of the 12th Champions League title. So I
Yeah.
think again this season the only two department that have played absolutely amazing is the midfield and the defense. So the midfield more than the defense. So I think Zidane will count on his midfield. Without Benzema, it's always going to be difficult. So I think it will be Isco, and Isco will be the key. He'll be entrusted with unlocking Atletico's defense and
Mm.
winning that midfield battle versus Koke and Llorente.
A very cautious approach you mentioned.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So is that how Simeone will approach this game? Very cautious. Like in this Champions League game against Chelsea, you built a six-man back. Six-man just put a wall,
Yeah,
block
yeah,
them
yeah.
out. It took a
The,
really good
the
bicycle
match
goal.
everyone saw against Chelsea was a totally hoax on. It wasn't. It isn't the Atletico of this year's.
Yeah, you just park the Titanic in front of the
Yeah,
goal. So
I think Cholo went into that match thinking of we are playing at home, but not really. It's our home. We are playing in Bucharest, and not to give up any away goals. But we ended up giving up one. But I'm
yeah,
okay with that approach because we are really not. It's a two-leg match, and we are not playing at home. Then it's
yeah.
okay. But going about this derby, where we have a 5 point lead with a game in hand, we should absolutely go for the kill and end any chances of others catching up.
I saw the Champions League game, Chelsea versus Atletico, and they actually fielded a six at the back. So uh, it's they build a wall. Basically, they just build a wall and they just shut you out. So, but I think people tend to say that Real Madrid typically do well against a five at the back. I'm not sure about that. So maybe you might know better than me. Like they do, they typically tend to score well and play better against a 5-man back rather than a typical 4-man back. So yeah,
No, it like for the past couple of seasons, I would say since 2019-20, this problem
yeah,
has been reoccurring, but it didn't come up that much last season. But this
okay,
season, it's been clear that we have a problem with breaking down defenses. You can see the Atlanta game too. Even after
yeah,
having one man extra, we struggled to break down that defense because they were camped inside the box. They didn't allow us any space. That I don't think there's a
yeah.
better example than that.
Where do you think the game will be won and lost? Who will be the key players in this game? Uh, like you said, all your players are fit. So where do you think the game will be won? In the midfield or in the offense or defense?
I think I just heard a rumored lineup. Though Simeone is trying not to give up any news about his lineup.
Yeah.
Marca reported a possible lineup that we'll be playing with only one midfielder. That's Koke. And
Okay.
every other player will be attacking one, like Joao Felix, Correa, Tomalema, Llorente, and Suarez. And with a 3-man defense, we will be fielding out that lineup. So they are reporting that Simeone would be trying to destabilize the midfield of Modric, Casemiro, and Kroos.
Okay.
But I'm not so sure about that. I don't think Simeone will go into a match with only one midfielder like Koke.
Yeah.
Surely there would be Saul or someone to give up on another shield of coverage.
So now it's time to get your thoughts on the predicted 11. What do you think will be the 11 Zidane is going to field out?
I think Portos is obviously a sure start. Backline will be Ferland Mendy, Varane, Nacho, and Lucas Vasquez, since Danny Carvajal is still out with an injury. The midfield is also a sure shot. Kroos, Casemiro, Modric. And now the front three is a bit interesting. I absolutely can't predict who will be starting, but if I had to guess, I'd say Isco. Asensio, he's going to be a sure shot again because Zidane seems to trust him. He hasn't scored in a while, but since he has the manager's trust, he'll start for sure. And the last spot will be either Vinicius or Rodrigo.
I've been doing this predicted lineups thing for a little bit, but Real Madrid is actually one that you cannot predict at the moment. Like every other lineups I've seen that it's pretty fairly standard. It's like just a formality, but I think this one you would really have to look forward to, like actually trying to predict what lineup Zidane is going to put out. So what do you think will be the best 11 to beat Real Madrid?
I would go into the match with the usual 3-5-2. Oblak in goal. Felipe Hermoso and Savic at the back because Jimenez is out. And in the midfield there would be Koke, Lemar, and Llorente, Carrasco and Trippier as wing backs, and Joao Felix and Suarez up front.
Yeah,
and that Marcos Llorente midfield would be that attacking midfield role.
Yeah. Trippier is also fit for this game, so it's a huge boost for you guys, no? Like,
the ban has been uplifted.
The final thing is predictions. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
I think I'd like to go for a 2-0 win for Real Madrid. And again, I think we haven't lost a game at the new stadium of Atleti's, Wanda Metropolitano.
Yeah.
We have played there thrice. We have won one game and lost twice. Drawn twice. So I don't think we'll lose there. I hope so. We don't lose there, and I hope we'll get a win over there. And like I said before, we drew the game versus Sociedad. So we are coming into this under a bit of fire. So I think the team will decide to show up, and that's always a bad thing for any opponent.
Score predictions. What is your score prediction on this game?
we have to keep in mind that in the first round of matches that we played, the derby that we played at Di Stefano, we lost 2-0.
Yeah.
And in La Liga, if in the title race two opponents are tied at points, we don't see the goal differences.
Yeah.
We see the head-to-head record. So we must keep that in mind. Being said that, I think the team that gets the first goal would have a huge advantage over the other. And most probably the score would end like 1-1 or 2-2.
Oh, okay, a draw.
1-1. I would go with the 1-1.
Yeah, I think that would be a good result for you because that will widen the gap. That will keep the gap intact.
I actually want to win, but going with my head this time.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on your rivals this season? Just how well they have been doing. You must be having a little bit of reservations going into this game, am I right? So, talk to me about how Atletico have been doing this season.
To be honest, I'm actually not surprised with what they have done this season, because even last season they had that thing, like they had the team. They could have pushed both Madrid and Barcelona harder, but they didn't. They lacked a good striker, and with getting Luis Suarez, I mean that has to be the biggest mistake Barcelona have done. And João Felix coming into his own for the first few months, like he has dropped off a bit right now, but that talent is still there, and I hope he doesn't show up tomorrow, day after tomorrow. And those two have been the standout players. Those two and Marcos Llorente. That's another mistake that Real Madrid shouldn't have made. You don't sell a player like that to your direct rivals. But I think Llorente and Suarez have been the two players who have been pushing them towards the La Liga title. And seeing that as a rival, you get frustrated, because those two are they are your players. For Barcelona fans, obviously Suarez. But they have been great. I think one of the things that I've really liked about Atleti this season is that they have they've come out of the shell. They have started attacking a bit more. It's not just their defense this season. It's always before this, when you look at them, it's always their defense bailing them out. But this season they have started attacking a bit more. They have started pressing also. So I've really liked that about Atleti this season, and I think that's what's taking them to the title this season.
I wouldn't blame Real Madrid if when they sold Llorente, because they would have looked at him as a defensive midfielder, and he would have been pretty good, pretty okay. But Simeone saw something in him from out of nowhere, that he's a good attacking midfielder and a good second striker. So and
I think that change was in the Liverpool game.
Yeah, that game
was in the Liverpool game,
because Simeone actually uses them to press at from the front. And he does a really good job at it.
So I wouldn't blame Real Madrid for selling him. I mean, they thought this was a squad player. They were getting 40 million for him, but as a fan, it's still a bit hard to swallow that pill. That's all.
What do you think about Real Madrid this season? What chances do they have if they win this game? They can win the title.
Even being a rival fan, I would say we should never doubt them. Although it has been a stop-start season for them, and a very injury-plagued one, but we shouldn't doubt them and their ability to chase back someone. And if they win the match, they would have a greater chance of overcoming us. And even if they tie, they would also have the head-to-head advantage.
Just last question, Nithanth. What do you see Real Madrid season as? Do you think Zidane will prioritize the league, or will he prioritize the Champions League? I mean, you guys are still in two competitions. You can go for either one. And with your injury cases, I think it's going to be tough going for both competitions, right? So, what do you think will be a successful season for Real Madrid?
I think winning either one of them will be successful. But at this point, I don't think this team is capable of winning anything, because it lacks severely in the attacking department. I'm very happy with the midfield. I'm very happy with the defense. They are overachieving right now. but the attack just lets down everything. Only Benzema is the only player who's doing good, and Rodrigo, hopefully he can recover his good form before he got injured. But so without that attack, and Eden Hazard was supposed to be the savior, but he's always injured. So at this point, I can't even count on him. So it would be I think as a success, I think it's very important to finish above Barcelona because they were terrible at the start of the season.
Yeah.
So if they were to finish above us, that would be like very humiliating. And in the Champions League, I think at least the quarterfinals or semifinals would be okay. The winning is it, obviously, that's the best thing. But I don't think we can.
Obviously. You never know. I mean, Real Madrid meant
Yeah,
they are
it's Real Madrid after all.
they are the original mentality monsters, I would say. Yeah, you just never know with Real Madrid. Last question, the most important one for every Atletico Madrid fan. Do you think Atletico Madrid can win the La Liga this season?
As you say in Spanish, nunca dejes de creer, never stop believing. We have a very good team which has been functioning really well. Although there has been a little bit of slump lately, but that shouldn't be a factor. We should be comfortable enough to go for the La Liga this season, and we are in a very good position as well.
Yeah, and you guys are also in the Champions League. Still, you guys can still progress far in the Champions League. You beat Liverpool once. Definitely, you have a chance of beating Chelsea again. So,
what I can guarantee you at this Stamford Bridge, you can see a different Atletico. That I can definitely guarantee. From the first leg, it would be a totally different one. And if somehow Chelsea manages to overcome it and able to progress to the next round, it would be totally down to their credit.
Thank you so much, Nithanth. You've been a real gem of a person for coming onto the show at such a short notice. So, where can the viewers find you on Twitter and your articles?
So my personal Twitter account is rnithanth, and for my articles, there's two accounts: the Real Champs and the Madrid Zone. Also, I am also part of the Bombay Peña. I handle the Twitter account, so you can find me there too.
Soumyanil, you've been such a champ. Thank you so much for coming onto the show. Do let the listeners know where they can find you on Twitter and about the fan club, Atletico Madrid fan club in India.
Yeah, it's at the Atleti India.
Yeah,
and or they can search the name Peña Atlética de India. We are on Twitter, FB, and Instagram.
So that is it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Massive shout out to Nithanth and Soumyanil for coming on to the show. I highly recommend you follow their socials, follow the Atletico de Madrid India fan page, as well as the Bombay Real Madrid fan page. I leave their links in the description down below, and do check out Nithanth's articles at the Real Champs and the Madrid Zone. They are really good. They are your one-stop destination for all things Real Madrid. So that is it from me, guys. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Peace.